everybody, LevelMDiecast, episode 66, double sixes. Diecast haul today. This is Nostalgia 90s view for Hot Wheels. We're going to be checking out a bunch of old school Hot Wheels. We're going to start with a red line, original red line. Towards the end of the red line era, this one is obviously not mints, but it's in pretty good shape considering it's a red line. This is a casting I collect. I do like this casting quite a bit. This one in the Forest Service. Like I said, red line, it's definitely not mint, but in the realm of red lines, this one is actually in pretty decent shape. So I'm pretty happy just to have my hands on this one. Got it for pretty cheap, we'll just say. Pretty cheap on that one, so pretty stoked about that one, so I'll throw that there. Also picked up I believe, the first Blackwall version of that casting as well. So this one also in Forest Service, but in updated deco for the Forest Service. So a little bit more modernized. This thing is in pretty much new shape. So this one is absolutely fantastic. Been hunting this one down for a little bit as well. So really stoked to get this one. They also did a Real Rider version of this one as well. It does come with Real Riders. That one's pretty tough. It's a pretty tough piece, but that one's pretty minty for a Blackwall for sure. All right, also got a mail-in piece for the Jeepster, the fake Jeep, the Roll Patrol. This one's all right. It's in purple. It is for Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid being the promo version, but definitely not one that I'd had. So I'm pretty happy to add another one. I mean, I tell you guys all the time, I know I crack open a lot of Hot Wheels on this channel, but I really like 90s Hot Wheels. Early 90s Hot Wheels is really where the nostalgia part marks. All right, also picked up this guy right here. This is the Bus. This is a Fisher-Price promo piece. This one is a little bit newer. Apparently at some point in time, this was $8. I certainly didn't spend. Oh, look at that label residue. I'll have to clean that up. But I didn't pay $8 for this. I paid $1 for this. So this is pretty cool. This promo piece, I don't remember where it came from, but it is for Fisher-Price. So I'm just happy to add that one in there. It is Malaysia based, nothing particularly fancy, but just another version of the Bus that I didn't have. I'll have to clean up that little residue on the top. Not that big a deal. All right, the Nissan Custom Z. There are many wheel variations for this model. This is probably the toughest one to get. This is probably the very first model to ever sport the 5-spoke wheel. And that wheel is still used today. This is a true brownback. This one from 1991. So that wheel, that 5-spoke wheel, Hot Wheels has been using that thing for almost 30 years, more than 25 years. That's just crazy to think that 5-spoke has been along for that long. That is just an insanely long run wheel. But like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the very first model to ever sport the 5-spoke wheel. Now this model does come with silver Ultra Hots. It comes with gold Ultra Hots. It comes with gold 3-spoke wheels. Also comes with gold lace wheels, and then of course this one here in 5-spoke gold. So, like I said, in a true brownback. And the reason I call them brownbacks is clearly the back is brown, but this is cardboard material. This is not paper material like they use nowadays. It's like cardboard backing, and that's why it rips, kind of like a cardboard box would. Hence the brown back name to it. So I do believe this is the very last variation I need for this particular one in purple. It does have 300ZX there on the top. The stripes are a little bit printed offset for this particular version, but that's okay. It does have those gold 5 spokes, so I'm pretty happy about that. Lens lights in the front. Not the greatest casting. The casting is not that great. It's not that bad, but it's not that great. But it does have opening doors. Giant opening doors, which is okay. Then there is your base deets, nothing particularly fancy, but the 5-spoke, been hunting that one for quite some time. Pretty happy to finally get the 5-spoke on that one. All right, now I do have quite a few variations for this next particular casting. Now, if you guys are avid early 90s Hot Wheels collectors, the variation list on the 96 first editions is the most bonkers thing that Hot Wheels ever did. They did so many different versions. So I started to collect the Turbo Flame. I have quite a few here. This casting was not used a huge amount, but there's still plenty I don't have. So this is your 96 first edition. Does use the 5-spoke with the big one in the back. Looks pretty decent. Says Hot Wheels on the side, nothing fancy. This one is just the raw metal base. So for this first edition, again, it's a fantasy casting, not particularly fancy. Does have the big Hot Wheels on the side. I don't think it's bad. Of course, it's called Turbo Flame because it has the big flame out the back. And then just a little spot where a driver, quote-unquote, would sit. But plastic body, everything's plastic about it except for the the base is metal. So it's an average, like I said, just a raw metal base on that particular one. But then I have this one. This one is a silver painted base. So same wheels, but silver painted base. So a secondary variation for this one. This one looks definitely better with this silver painted base. The rest of the details of the casting are exactly the same. Prints are exactly the same, but it does have the silver painted base, which is good. Definitely helps it pop much more than that raw metal base. And then I have this one. This is the raw metal base, but this one has I like to call them the gunslinger wheels. Those 5-dot wheels. Kind of looks like, like from a 6-shooter, only it's 5 holes. But you get the idea. So there is the deets there. Again, the exact same casting, just a different wheel. Just the raw metal base. Now, this wheel could exist with the painted base. I don't know. These are just the ones I've happened to come across currently. And then, of course, that one has just a little bit darker red print on it, but not that big a deal. Not that big a deal. It did see a regular mainline release, Mega Graphics series. This one, way, way, way older. This is actually from 1998. So much, much, much older, but Mega Graphics series. Says number 12 on the side. You guys know Ultra Completists here, so we will have to hunt down all the versions. So just 12 on the side, red painted base, nothing particularly fancy. I like the gold for the engine detail, and then uses that same 5-spoke. So we'll throw that guy there. And then, surprisingly, they did use it for a treasure hunt. So here is your treasure hunt. There is the treasure hunt for the Turbo Flame. This one right here, this is for the 1997 model years. 97, 98, those were some pretty terrible treasure hunt years, by the way. So this is your Turbo Flame treasure hunt. Get the... There we go. Get it out of there. So there it is as a treasure hunt. It does not have real riders or nothing on it. It's just plastic wheels. The print on the side is pretty generic. Does have some chrome. It's definitely okay. It's not great. It's just okay. And then black base on that particular one, but that's kind of ridiculous when that's supposed to be the treasure hunt. So let's move these around because my OCD. So we'll make sure we get them all lined up. There we go. We're gonna kind of hop around a little bit with some next ones. This is a pretty new one. This was just an older Ultra Hots. I picked this one up. I started to collect this casting, so just going back and getting the older versions of this particular casting. For your 80 El Camino, the Target series for Ultra Hots. So it's a decent casting. I wasn't going to collect this casting, but I started to collect it, so I just got to go back and get a few of the previous versions. That one looks pretty good. The Ford stake bed truck, this is a variation, so they did have the black walls with the chrome base, and then they had the 7-spoke with a gray base, but I didn't have 7-spoke with the chrome base. So this is a variation I didn't have, 7-spoke with the chrome base. So been a while since I've seen something like this, so couldn't tell you if it's rare or not, but considering I'm pretty avid on looking at 90s eras Hot Wheels, this one's probably not super common. It's certainly not a rare piece, like, by modern standards, but it's definitely not common, especially this old. All right, I've been looking for this piece for a very, 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 very long time. I've wanted this toothpaste my whole life. I don't care about this. I just wanted the toothpaste. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of course I'm going for the car. Come on. Come on. That is an exclusive color for this particular pack here. That is the MR2. So we'll get this cracked out of there. That is the only thing that I wanted. I've been wanting this one for a very, very, very long time. We did get this deco with a white version, but not with red. So this is an exclusive color print for the Aquafresh promo. So really, really, really stoked to get this one. Also really happy that it's not in like a blister, so there's nothing for it to rub on for the past, 30 years. But really, really stoked about that. This is MR2 on the back as well, so really, really happy to get that. Shockingly, with this pack, by the way, the toothpaste is actually still in pretty decent condition. It's not. You definitely don't use this. There's no doubt. Do not use this. But like normally, it's disintegrated to like this powdery stuff. It just, I don't know. It looks really, really bad. But shockingly, this one is in pretty good shape. There doesn't seem to be an expiration date on it, particularly. But clearly, do not use that at any point in time. And then there is your package. Nothing fancy with the package. But I do have one more Aquafresh. I do have this Aquafresh. This is the F1 car. Came in this nice little fancy little, one single car box, which is kind of interesting. Comes in a couple different languages there. If I can remember how to talk there for a second. I think it's in English and French. I think that might be French, but we'll just get this out of here. So it's not sealed or anything, just it's stuck in there. But there is your Aquafresh F1 car. So we did get this car with a similar deco, just not in the Aquafresh color of the mint green-ish color. But definitely not a common piece for sure. But you can find these. If you truly wanted one of those, you can find them. They also did ones that literally said Aquafresh on the car, if I remember correctly. So they have those ones as well. All right, another package deal of cars. The Buick Wildcat. This one from back in the day. I do have several versions here, or several different decos. This one's probably the oldest one. This was, I think, 97 first edition, I think. Oh no, this says 95. So this was a 95 first edition. So very, very interesting. But this is the Buick Wildcat. There's really nothing fancy about this casting. It is a real car. This was a real concept car with a crazy engine in the back. This model does not have an interior. That is just a metal casting painted black for the window. But there's really nothing to this particular casting. It is based on the car. Well, not based on. It is from the movie, I think, Judge Dredd or Demolition Man, one of the two. But this is one of the futuristic cars in the movie. Might have been Demolition Man. I'm leaning towards Demolition Man. I could be wrong. Drop a comment. You guys know. I guarantee you guys know which movie that came from. So you can drop a comment and set me straight. Recolor right here. Nothing fancy. Track Aces. This one is from 2003. Might even be the last time they even used that casting was 2003. So pop this out. It has an extra little bubble in the back. I didn't expect that. So we'll get this out of here. This one gets a little bit of print on the front for the headlights, even though it's not technically headlights. But it looks good. I like the gold for the engine detail. And of course the 3 spokes on there. Nothing particularly fancy. Some interesting decos they were doing back in the day. I mean, Hot Wheels was just, during the late 90s all the way through to the early to mid 2000s. I mean, they were pumping out his cars as fast as humanly possible, so they didn't really care about the decos and stuff. This one's just a standalone model. This is from 2002. No particular series it belonged to, just a regular quote-unquote blue card collector, number 138. You could win with a code inside here. This one also has the little piece to hold the car in there. This one in purple. Again, nothing particularly fancy with the deco. It's okay. It's okay. I guess it fits the the kind of fantasy-ness of the casting, but nothing particularly fancy. But yes, this was also used as a treasure hunt. Yes, a treasure hunt as well. I think this was also 1997, 96. So this is just a really terrible treasure hunt. It's just a really, really terrible one. This one just in silver with a little bit of print on the top. You don't even get like crazy like primo print on this. You just get regular print. And this is supposed to be the treasure hunt. There's a Hot Wheels logo in the back. Get some chrome on the engine, just some basic 3 spokes. I think at this time they were just like, whatever was a new casting the previous year, we're just going to make it a treasure hunt the next year. And so they just made some really questionable additions for treasure hunts. Speaking of questionable treasure hunts, we're going to take a look at this first Game Over series. This is the GM Lean Machine. This one also stemmed, I think, from Demolition Man, potentially. One of those movies. Number 1 of 4 for this particular one. This one dated 1998. I do have a lot of these castings of this GM Lean Machine. Yes, you guys know we collect very weird stuff here on the channel. This one looks to have just the 5-spoke in the back. It's this Star Commander on the side, nothing particularly fancy. There's a number on the back. There is a cockpit in there, so you can sit in there, and it's just a 3-wheeler. So a little tiny wheel there in the front. So we'll throw that one on the bottom. And then there you go. They made this a treasure hunt as well, the GM Lean Machine. This one actually looks kind of cool, though. It's a treasure hunt, in my opinion. This one is 1996 as well. So nothing particularly fancy, just a old school treasure hunt. Get this popped out of there. It is chrome, and it does say Hot Wheels HTW 37. So much glare, and there's a little bit of print on the front as well. Nothing particularly fancy, and then of course just a chrome canopy top, so you can't even see on the inside. A little bit more print on the top. This one actually doesn't look too bad. This one actually looks a little bit more presentable, at least in my opinion. I wouldn't say treasure hunt by any means, but it definitely is far more appealing to the eyes than say like that one or anything like that. Another one from the Game Over series, the Shadow Jet. Just another casting I collect. This is from the Blackwall era. I don't know if they show the whole 4-car set. Lean Machine, Shadow Jet, Speed Blaster, and Twin Mill 2. So get this guy cracked open here. Just pop that in there. Now they've done yellow on this casting a bunch of times. Nothing particularly fancy with this one. Just a little bit of print on the top. A little bit of print for... I'm assuming for speed runs or track times or something like that. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting to see the Hot Wheels logo mirrored, which is weird. So you get the Mattel symbol on the other side, which is very interesting. A little bit of print on the side. It says Raceway 2000. Course Select, obviously. It's kind of video game style, but just uses the 5 spokes. You know, nothing fancy. So throw that up there. Whole lot of fantasy stuff up there, you know? Just a whole lot of fantasy stuff. All right, kicking around just a little bit more. As you guys know, we had the 49 Drag Merc drop. It was in the, I believe it was in the P case in Zamek this year. It was marked as a brand spanking new casting, and there's a reason for that. So I decided to go back and get some of the older ones. I do have 4 of them. So these 2 right here are recolors from each other, so to speak. I mean, they're basically the same kind of deco pattern right here. And then these 2 are true recolors from each other. The Jigs, the yellow over black and the black over yellow. So we'll take a look at these other 2 first. These are from, this one is from 2010. And then this one is also from 2010. So our Drag Merc. Now, I will tell you, there's only one thing that makes it a brand new casting. See, that is a flip-out wheelie bar. See if I can get this one to flip out. It's a very, very... Let's see here. I'll get a screwdriver in here. See if we can... There we go. So the original version had a wheelie bar that you could pop out and then stick in the back of the casting, just like that. And so you could have an actual wheelie bar for the actual drag Merc. Clearly that piece is gone. The new one does not have that. And there might be some structural changes to the casting itself, but the flip wheelie bar is gone on the new iteration of this casting. So this one just says 49er on the side. Has a gold chrome interior to make that spoiler piece on the back. It's got your laundry out the back as well. Pretty average version. We'll pop open our other one in orange. This one looks okay. It says Phil's burner on the side. So Phil Ryman, of course you guys should know who that is. So that looks pretty cool. And then the Jags, of course, can't have just, you know, one car chilling in the collection. I gotta give them some friends. So this one, again, looking pretty good in matte black. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. And then of course the opposite colored one right here in black and yellow. So we'll throw that guy there. All right, rolling on, we do have a couple of Monte Carlos as well. This is the 1999 first edition Monte Carlo. All metal, metal body, metal base. But there was a variation to this one, and that is the variation. So you have red and dark red. You do have gray interior on one, and then you do have the tan interior on the other. Both the first editions looking pretty good. I think the dark red one looks much, much better, in my opinion. We'll crack that one first. Again, this one is all metal. Of course, the Monte Carlo actually did come out like this. It wasn't exactly this, but it was pretty close to the concept car, the actual model that came out for the public consumption. So it looks pretty good. This definitely looks more like the NASCAR style one, which is expected. And then this one in red, which is the far more common one. The first one to come out is this one. The maroon one was afterwards. So a little bit thick on the paint for this one, but it's all right. It's all right. Nice to see just some throwback with some Hot Wheels. The pretty good duo chilling there. A couple more castings that I collect. The Old School Limo Turbo Taxi Series number 2 of 4. This one is from 2001. Nothing fancy, just the taxi. The Lincoln Limo Taxi. It's all right. It's all right. I'll just throw that down there. Another model that I collect. I have a lot of these castings from Blackwall era, but this is the latest version they did. It was a plastic body and a metal base, which was unfortunate. So this one was not that great. This one's from 2002, but just pretty average deco. So it's okay. It's okay. Some of the original track aces right there. So, and again, just a metal base. Nothing particularly fancy. Still says Chevy Stalker on the bottom of that, though, shockingly. I picked up this guy just because I only have one old number 3, and like I said, I don't want them just being by themselves. So from 2002, there was a recolor in orange. The one I have is in red, the most common one. They have done more than just these 2 colors for this casting, although this casting's only been used a very, very small amount of time. Does have a giant spare tire on the back, which totally doesn't match the wheels that are on it, but that's okay. That is the exhaust off the side. Details look pretty good. Not a huge fan of these big 5-spoke style wheels, but a little bit of print on the front. Looks okay. Looks okay. Meh. It's meh. I'll maybe put him on the top. Keep on trucking. A couple of more modern ones here. The Mod Rod. I can't believe I didn't have this version, but I actually did not have this version of the Mod Rod. That's crazy. So, just making sure I'm trying to be ultra completist here, and every once in a while I come across something I don't have. This is definitely one of the original decos. Looks good. I like the black and the red. This is a cool casting. This is a cool casting. I don't know if I'd ever sport something like that in real life, but the casting itself is pretty cool. This is a Bot Wheels. I have one of these. I didn't know this was a new casting in 2018, and this was one of the debut colors. Really nothing fancy with this. It's just a generic, like, I don't know, like extraterrestrial off-road truck. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. But it's whatever. It's whatever. Like I said, I collect some really, really weird stuff. They did one of these with kind of a space theme to it. I thought that one was pretty cool. That one's a little meh. It's a little meh. Next one up, the Tread Shredder. This is one of the older versions of the Tread Shredder. I didn't have this one as well in red. So I'll crack this open here. Pull him out. Rolling through. There is our Tread Shredder. Again, relatively common or relatively current compared to the rest of the stuff we've been looking at, but it is what it is. Maybe just put it there, I guess, for now. Another older one, the Divincinator. This is a super cool casting. Super cool casting. So brand new for 2021. I have a few of these that I didn't have this one. This is the first edition deco. It's kind of like a futuristic modded Lambo, and I like the look of that, which is just interesting to me. And then the aero blades, it does have the adjustable spin wing in the front, the spoiler, so you can put it on track if you want to. Of course, the rear wing is fixed. A couple of huge intakes on the top. I think that is pretty cool. All right, moving on to some new stuff, some current stuff. This is one of the newest silver label released Batman series. Of course, the 11 Charger RT. I do have all of these versions. I do chase them down. That is this particular mix. Just cared about the Charger. They have done this particular deco for the Charger a few times. But this one is clearly brand spanking new. Gets new wheels, new deco on it. New deco style, I should say, with the matte black paint. Looks really, really good. That print on the side, we've seen it before, but this one gets full prints in the back. It says Dodge on it, which is very, very nice. And of course, prints on the front, which looks especially nice as well. Just a plastic base on that one, though, so we'll put him right cha. Super lucky to get the regular treasure hunt for the P case. I do believe this is the P case. Oh, in case. Sorry. In case. DMC DeLorean. This is a very, very tough regular treasure hunt to find. There is your Dietz. It's pretty cool. It is in Zamek, which looks very, very cool. There is your treasure hunt logo on the side. Just says DMC. Very, very cool looking. We are going to get this in a Team Transport next year, which is going to be really, really cool. Really excited about that. And then I finally got my hands on the R33 in gray. This has been one of the hardest castings for me to find. This one's just been tough to get my hands on this one. So my buddy Cameron hooked me up with this in a trade. Traded him some stuff that is probably worth more than this, but I don't really care. I was tired of looking for it. I was tired of hunting it down, and I just wanted it in the collection, and it is going in the top dead center right cha. All right, I still got quite a bit more stuff. This is a brand spanking new 5-pack. This is Hot Wheels Drag Strip, one of the newest 5-packs to drop. Luckily for me, I actually collect 4 of the 5 castings in this pack. You know, unlike that pack that came out with the S15, where you collect 1 casting of the entire pack, and it makes it a little bit rough. So there is our newest Thunderbird Pro Stock, which is really, really cool. Vatuski Motor Company in black. I like the details on this one. Looks good. So, you know, I crack a lot of Hot Wheels, and sometimes I crack stuff I already have, and it gets kind of frustrating, but it just gives me extra cars to give away. This is the latest gasser for the Corvette. It says Hot Wheels Drag Strip on the side. Looks really, really good. Steelies on the front. This is a really, really, really good deco for this one. Really good. Because this one looks a little bit like it could be, you know, homegrown, home built. Especially with the Steelies on the front. I really like that look. That one's pretty cool. That one definitely going to be right there center. Another one that I collect. This one right here. This is the Hot Wired. Fantasy casting. Nothing particularly fancy. It's kind of like a modern take on a rear engine dragster. so to speak. It does have the little 5 spokes in the front. The pizza cutters, I like to call them. But other than that, just relatively regular. I think what we'll do is maybe make some space. Whoa! Whoa! And then we'll put this guy maybe there. Just trying to see if we can fit some space on there. And then, of course, the Ford Mustang in Moon Eyes. This is probably the only one that people are going to want in the whole pack, just because it's Moon Eyes. But it's all right. It's all right. It's just another Mustang. Mustang funny car. So, Mustang FC. Mustang Football Club. So, squeeze him on there. And then the last one is the Nitro Door Slammer. I think is what it's called. Yep, the Nitro Door Slammer. Not a casting I collect. Not a casting I care about. This has been a super, though. Casting has been a super in a former life. All right, one other thing going backwards now. We do have California Custom. This is the Porsche 911 Turbo. This is a relatively tough piece to find. The blister is very, very yellowed. I got a pretty good deal on this because the model itself has been floating around in the package for a little bit. It does have a little flaw right there on the top, right out of the package. That's just the way it works, though. But this is a pretty tough piece to get, pretty tough piece to find. It's pretty cool, though. Spectre Flame, purple, with some decos on it. It says Cal Custom on it. Real nice and shiny. Looks pretty cool. 1974, the original date for the casting. Put him right in the middle. Really happy to add a 911 to there. It does come with some stickers and some other stuff. And, of course, that little button right there that you can slap onto your clothes. Because that was a thing that they did in the 90s. Final run. Final run for the ramp truck. Yes, Hot Wheels used to do these final runs where they said, we're done with this casting. We're never doing it again. This is the last time you'll ever see it. Yada, yada, yada. And this one happens to be for the ramp truck. So we'll just get this chopped. Get it pulled. Get the ramp truck out. Here we go. Get our ramp truck out. Comes with a standard blister. Does say final run. All the tools are destroyed. Special production, or exclusive decorations, and rubber tires, which it does have. And then there is the entire release for that particular year. Most of those not really all that great, but I have most of those. Matter of fact, I think I might have all of them except for maybe the Skull Rider. But crack this one open for the final time for the ramp truck. If I can get the blister pop, there we go. Get the ramp truck out of there. Packaging, packaging, packaging. So there is our ramp truck. Looks really, really good. This is FR 24/7 towing. Really nice premium decos on there. Full prints on the front. Final run. Looks good. Full decos on the top. Looks really nice in the gold. Metal base as well. Metal body, metal base. They even have the ramp all decoed up. Some flames on there. Your can and all that good stuff like that. Spare parts, chains, tools. All that good stuff. And then, of course, it just pops up. No prints underneath. But really, really happy to have this one. This is definitely one that I did not have in the collection yet. So he will don the R33 that I just destroyed. This is the problem with having loose cars is if you drop them and you hit them in the wrong spot, you can really, really do some serious damage. That hit that, by the way. That car hit that car. Probably the only 2 cars in the whole mix. I don't want none of that to happen to. All right, I got a couple more things. I know it's a ridiculously long video. It is what it is, but I do have a couple of modern ones too. This is the last 2 from the most current Fast and Furious mix that I needed. We've already cracked open the rest on the channel. So I did find the Bentley, the F-150, and the FJ Cruiser. But now I do have the 240 and the 180 and the 1987 Chevy Caprice. This one right here is not a new casting. We've seen this casting before. If I can get this popped off of there. There we go. But this one looks pretty good in blue with some chrome 5 spokes. It's definitely one of the best it's ever looked, I think, in my opinion. And I don't really like chrome. It works for this particular casting. There is a Nissan logo in the front, but there's pretty much no print on it. It's pretty basic, just blue, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I'll just kind of stick him here. I know he's barely on the camera. And then this one is a brand spanking new casting, 1987 Chevy Caprice. Brand spanking new casting for this year. This one happens to be from Furious 7. The other one was from Tokyo Drift itself. So there is our Caprice. Now this looked a little bit weird in like press photos and stuff. Some of the early YouTube guys that got these, it looked a little bit weird. But I can tell you, having it in hand, it's fantastic. It's really, really good. Now the body's a bit stock car-ish. It's definitely built to race. It's not meant to be just a factory regular Caprice. But the wheels are absolutely fantastic. It uses those skinny wheels. But I think it looks really, really, really good with the red striping on there. This is actually a really, really good casting. I don't know if there's an interior in it, but I think there's an interior in there. Can't really see into the bottom of the body. Sometimes I try to look into a wheel well and see if you can see light shining through, but I'm pretty sure this will have an interior. The windows are just ultra, ultra, ultra dark. But there you go. That is the Diecast haul. I know it's been a ridiculously long haul. Thanks for sticking with me this whole time. Episode 66, Nostalgia 90s Hot Wheels on tap today. Tons and tons of good stuff. I got to spend a ton of time to put this stuff away. This is a pain in my butt. But anyways, we're going to get this done. Let me know what you think about those. Drop a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Come back. More good stuff as always. Always on this channel. We love Diecast. All Diecast. Level M. Peace.